What up, peeps? Welcome to today's vlog. I just ran into the store today to meet up with a guy outside. Him and his wife wanted Mario Kart Wii and 4 steering wheels, and I had a listing on the Facebook Marketplace for that Mario Kart Wii. That's how they contacted me. And at first, I told him that we're closed, unfortunately, but once we're back open, everything's gonna be available. And they really, really wanted it. So I was like, all right, if you want to come to the store, I can meet you outside as long as you bring cash. So that's what we just did. I'm just here by myself right now. We were planning on coming in today when we were going to be working on the shelf still, but obviously last night I told you guys I ordered the grid wall to use instead of pegboard, and that's not coming until tomorrow. So we really didn't have anything to really work on today other than just your normal cleaning and testing, which we got to be doing anyway. But I just decided to tell Ryan, like, hey man, we're not going to go in today, so don't worry about it. So he stayed home, of course, and then when I told Abby that I had to come in to sell that thing, she's like, do I have to go? And I was like, well, not really. I mean, I'm just going to sell one thing, so if you don't want to come, you don't have to. But I'm also going to do some eBay shipping while I'm here, because we sold a ton of items. I think we shipped everything we had to ship yesterday when we were here, and I think now we have 18 more items to ship. It's crazy. Mostly games, mostly like disc-only stuff, Mario Kart Wii Sports Resort, stuff like that. But we do have a couple remotes that sold and some other things like that as well. So I'm gonna get that stuff shipped out, and we'll probably just head back home. And we'll be talking about the new inventory software because I got a 14-day free trial. I've been messing with it earlier today. It's already 7:10 p.m. right now, but I've been messing with it for the past couple hours, and I'm really, really liking it. And this is one that integrates with a website. So I'm super excited about that. We'll talk about that a little bit later. I'm going to get some shipping done. Got all my shipping done. These are all ready to go out. Believe it or not, almost every single one of these, I think 4 or 5 of them are not, but the rest of them are all either Mario Kart for the Wii, Animal Crossing for the Wii, or Wii Sports Resort. It's crazy how much these are selling for and how fast they're going as well. Every single one of them we're selling for more than we would sell for in the store, which is crazy, but it's also a really big help right now because obviously we're closed and any sales we can get are awesome, especially if they're more than normal. But that's pretty much it for me today. I'm going to be going back home. Then we're going to talk about this new inventory software. I actually messed with it a little bit more here at the store as well. Learned a few more things about it. I'm getting more and more excited about it with everything that I learn. So I can't wait to talk to you guys about it. I'm going to head home. We'll talk about it here in just a second. All right, guys. So it is now 4:30 in the morning. And I have not filmed until now because as soon as I got home, Abby had some dinner for me. We had some spaghetti squash, spaghetti, basically using the spaghetti squash instead of noodles with meatballs and corn, and it was really, really good. And then I immediately just jumped back into working on this new inventory software. So the software is called Vend, V-E-N-D. And I've got it pulled up here so that I can kind of go through a few things and talk about it as I'm doing it, just so that I can have a visual aid here for what I'm talking about and remember things that I want to tell you guys. So I want to apologize in advance for this not being the most exciting vlog. The majority of it's just going to be me talking about this here and then whatever I filmed earlier. And then I'm going to eat some more food and get to bed. But, so the reason that we are considering going with Vend, I'm still not like 100%, but I mean, we're pretty much there. The main reason that I want to go with this as our inventory software, there's 2 main reasons. The biggest one is that it integrates with Spotify, which is basically a website building tool. It's probably the most popular one for a web store. Limited Run uses Shopify. Tons of other places use Shopify for their web store. It's reliable. It is very, very popular. So there's a lot of support out there. There's videos, there's YouTube videos of random people using it. They're a really massive company. So It's the kind of thing that if you're having trouble figuring something out, you can get the help you need. Some other smaller ones, I mean, even the inventory software that we use now is called Gift Logic. There are no videos on YouTube about it at all, aside from the couple that the actual company posted that are like 5 years old and outdated. So that's the main reason. It integrates with Shopify. It will be fairly simple for us to get a website set up, which is the main thing that we want. It's the main reason that we're even considering switching. Having the website will basically make it so we don't have to answer 100 messages every day of, what do you have in stock? And then go back and forth getting shipping quotes for people and doing all this stuff. Obviously, as you guys know, with a website, everything is so much more easy. You'll just check out like you would on any other website. It will be awesome. The other main thing that I really like about it is that you can have one inventory item with multiple quantity and separate buy costs, and it will just average them all out for you. So the inventory software that we're using right now, so you guys know we have like 60 copies of Mario Kart Wii. Every single one of those is a different item in our inventory software because we pay different prices for them, and that was just the easiest way to kind of do it. With the inventory software we have right now, it doesn't allow you to put multiple buy costs on the same item, even if you have multiple quantity. So unless we paid the same exact price every single time, guaranteed, for every single copy of Mario Kart Wii, we have to make different listings for them. What's really nice about Vend is once you get it set up, like you create the listing for Mario Kart Wii, and then you can add as many quantities of it as you want, and they can all have their own individual buy costs. And what the system does is it will average out all the buy costs to one particular price. So let's say we have 10 games that I'm importing, they're all the same game, and I paid $10 each on half of them and $20 each on the other half. Once I import them all, I'm putting that I paid 10 for these 5 and 20 for these 5, but once they all get into the system, it'll say we paid an average of $15 a piece. So it keeps track of it like that, and it calculates everything properly for taxes, basically. The way that we're doing it now also calculates properly for taxes, but it's just way more work than it needs to be, making 60 listings for Mario Kart Wii when it could just be one. Also, having it like that will make it so much easier for us to look up in our inventory and see what we have. The way that it's set up now, for whatever reason, you look up a game and, Mario Kart Wii, for example, 60 different things pop up. But if it's a game that's on multiple systems, if you type in San Andreas, a bunch of San Andreases will pop up, but unless you click into each individual one, you don't know what system that's for. With this system here, if I go to the thing, if I type in, I'll just type in Mario Kart. So Mario Kart DS pops up, and I can click on it, and then I can immediately see how many copies we have. If we had more than one store, I could also see which quantities were at which store. But I can see what system it's for as well. So it makes looking up stuff way easier, which is very helpful, especially when people are calling the store on the phone, like a local customer who's like, "Hey, I'm looking for Animal Crossing. Do you have it for the GameCube?" On our old system, we type in Animal Crossing. It's going to bring up all of them, of course. Luckily with Animal Crossing, I guess it's a different name than the other versions, but you get the idea. It makes it a lot easier to look stuff up. Another thing is that this software is browser-based, which means we can use an iMac, we can use an iPad, we could even use our phones if we wanted to. Everything is cloud-based. It's all in the browser. It's not a software that you have to download and run off your computer. So, for example, if if we were at the store and the computer we have there, the PC, the Windows PC, if it just exploded, I could just pull out my MacBook, hook up the scanner and the printer to this, and we could keep going immediately. There'd be no downtime. And that's really nice, especially for like conventions and stuff like that. We don't have to drag our entire computer out anymore, which we did last year. You know, not a huge problem, but imagine just being able to take my MacBook instead. Makes it so much easier. So there are a couple downsides to using Vend. One of them is that it's going to be a little bit more time consuming to enter new inventory into the system. It's so with Gift Logic, which is what we're currently using. Right before I left on tour, I talked a lot about the spreadsheet that I was working on that was making things a little bit more automated, and that sped up the process of entering new inventory a lot. With Vend, we can pretty much do the same thing, except it doesn't work for stuff that we can't scan. So for like a Game Boy game or an Atari 2600 cartridge or an N64 game, you can't scan those, obviously. With Gift Logic, we could still type in the name manually, which is fine, but with Vend, you have to have the SKU number or the UPC. So the problem that creates is that if you're trying to enter in a Mario Kart 64, you can't just type in Mario Kart 64. You have to enter in the SKU, which means you have to go find it. And I can store it in the same spreadsheet. I can store it on another page in the same spreadsheet, so it's not like you have to go searching. It'll be right there. But it's just going back and forth and copying and pasting that SKU. It's kind of a pain. But I feel like it'll kind of even out in the end, because in the spreadsheet that we use right now to import inventory, if we scan a game, we scan the barcode, it enters in all the information automatically. But for an N64 game, we have to type in the name of the game, we have to type in the system that it's for, we have to type in whether it's a game accessory or a console, we have to type in the abbreviated version of the name. So for Nintendo 64, it'd be N64. For Sony PlayStation 2, it's PS2. We have to type in the price we're going to sell it for, the price we paid, and the quantity. With Vend, all we have to enter in is the SKU, the price we paid, and the quantity. We don't have to enter in anything else. All that stuff is automatic. It's already in the software. So once we import the spreadsheet, it just auto-fills everything else for us, which is nice. So I feel like entering inventory might take about the same amount of time. It's going to feel like it's a little bit more tedious because you can't just type stuff in. You have to copy and paste. But it might just kind of even out. Now, the biggest thing is that this is the biggest issue that I have with it. If we have everything on a website, you guys can go and look at it. You can buy. You can do everything normally. The only problem is that for any disc-based game, we can pretty much guarantee that it's going to come with the game and the case, but unless we double our workload on the back end, there's no way for us to determine whether it has the manual or not. For cartridges, we can, because we don't get a lot of complete cartridges, but also we can't scan them anyway, so we're already kind of manually entering in some of that info. So to put complete or box of manual only in the title is not a big deal. But when it comes to PlayStation 2 games, for example, you know, if we have 2,000 PS2 games, there's no possible way we can go through every single one and pick out the ones that have manuals and create a separate listing for that. It's way too much work. There's no way we're ever going to be able to get that done. Even if we only did it for new stuff coming into the store, we still wouldn't be able to do it. There's no way. A PS2 game will have one listing in our inventory software with the quantity. That'll include ones with manuals and ones without manuals, and it's tied to the UPC. So we can scan the UPC and it enters it right into that. If we want to have a separate listing that has all the ones that do not have manuals, we can't use the UPC. So the problem there is that it has to create it. We have to get a different SKU for it, which would just be more copying and pasting. It would be basically treating a PS2 game as something that doesn't have a barcode when it does have a barcode. So I'm rambling for sure, and I may be confusing some of you guys, and a lot of you are not going to care about any of this info. You basically just want to know, can I buy off the website? Yes, you can. It's not going to be able to say whether it has a manual or not if it's a disc-based game. And so we're trying to figure out the best way to kind of approach that. And what we're thinking is we're just going to have to we can put a description for everything, and it will just say something along the lines of, includes disc and original case, but may or may not include the manual. Email us or message us if you want to know if it has a manual or not. We'll just have to kind of manually check. And one of the main purposes of having the website was to cut down on all the messages that we get, because Abby can't even keep up. It takes her all day, every day to message people back and forth, and then at the end of the day, there's still 50 messages to go through. So having the website hopefully would cut down on that. But if every single person that's trying to buy something is messaging us asking if all these random games have manuals or not, I don't really know how much time that's going to save us. But I know that not every single person cares if a game has a manual, especially if it is a cheaper PS2 game or something along those lines. So that's the best solution that I can come up with right now. Like I said, the only other option is to create a second listing for every single item that isn't tied to the UPC, and that is just way too much work. Not only is it too much work to go through every game and see if it has a manual, but entering in that stuff, it literally doubles the workload of entering in products. And it's not worth it, unfortunately. It's not worth double the effort to say if City Crisis for PS2 has a manual or not. It's a $5 game. It's the same price either way. For the majority of them. Some of the more expensive games, if they're missing a manual, obviously we mark it down because of that. We price accordingly. Some of the more expensive games will probably have a separate listing for it, like Chibi Robo for the GameCube. If it doesn't have a manual, we're not going to price it as a complete copy and put it on the website for $100. You'll probably see a complete one for $100 and then one with no manual for, $70 or $80 or whatever it is. So for the more expensive games, we'll probably do that. But for the majority, for all the cheaper stuff, anything that's like $15 or less, we can't say if it's got a manual or not. And probably even some above that price, it's probably going to have to be the really expensive ones. Like once you get to like $50 and up, those ones will probably say if it has a manual or not, but the rest we just can't do, unfortunately. But it is a step in the right direction. Having a website where all of our inventory is on there, but it doesn't tell you whether it's got a manual or not, is better than not having a website at all, I think. So it's going to take a lot of work to get this going. Obviously, swapping our entire inventory, we might have over 100,000 items. I don't know. We at least have tens and tens of thousands of items, and they all have to be accounted for, every single one. The way that I have it set up right now, the way that we're going to be importing it, is basically I have a list of every single game for every single system, and I have the system that it's for. In a spreadsheet, I have the system that it's for, I have the name of the game, I have the loose price, the complete price, and the UPC code, if there is one. And I got this all from Price Charts. It does cost money to get this information. It's like $13 to get what I got here. We did this before, but I decided to redo it now because we need more systems in there. Plus, I wanted the loose price. I only had complete before, and I wanted the prices to be updated. The prices that I have in the old one are from January. So this is updated. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm importing all of this information into our inventory system, but with the quantity of everything at 0. So the prices are all set. And then when we go back to import what we actually physically have at the store, we have to go through one by one. Luckily, with the 3 of us, we can relay the information back and forth, and we can even do it on 2 separate spreadsheets. So it hopefully it doesn't take us 3 months to do it. I think we can get it done in just a couple weeks if we are working on it every day. But basically, we will have to scan the barcodes of everything that has a barcode. Everything else we will have to copy and paste, like I said. It's just like we're entering in a new trade that came in, but it's the entire store. So I still have to figure out how we're going to do the toys and the plushies and the stuff that doesn't have a barcode. Obviously, I don't know how to use this software 100% yet. I've only been messing with it for a couple days now. And there's a lot to learn. There's a lot to do. So I'm doing my best, and I appreciate you guys sticking with me. And sorry for rambling. Like I said, this is an 18-minute clip right here alone. So I'm probably going to go ahead and end it. But basically, long story short, hopefully before we reopen the store again, we not only will have new shelving and more inventory out for sale, but we should also have our website up and running. We should be running our new point of sale system at the store. And yeah, I guess that's it for now, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to smack the like button, leave a comment down below, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys again tomorrow.